Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Only Mr. Boss. What's his name, man? Jackson. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yeah, now they can hear me. Thank you, Jackson. Josephine, where's Josephine? Now, CS, can you confirm we have a quorum, please?
So there are others who are registering.
Yeah, yeah. How are you, sir? Wewe uniacha bwana wewe namna gani? Ngoja namna gani na nyinyi ndio mko juu. And we don't know why the strangers were here. And we're not going to allow it today. So if you're not an ASA member, and if you're not the CEO, and if you're not the company secretary, please leave. And if you're not, we leave. Of course, we know that his name again. Yeah, we know Jackson is very important to us. So Jackson and the company secretary. Of course, the CEO is always a member of this particular committee. But we don't like strangers coming in and wandering in for no reason, okay? They're busybodies. Number two, all these things which are letters sent to admitting staff, I think we have to be very careful. I think communication should usually come either from me as the chairman or from the CEO. But you find everybody's writing letters, and these are not ASA members. Right. Dr. Odede, please give us some peace. Right. No, not yet. I'm just saying this because so that we can, I can't call it order until we know. People are very clear. And I hope you all agree with this because I think it's important that this is our meeting and it's not other people's meeting. Now, when you can have a little chat, but then when you're ready, we can start because we have a quorum. Where is the company secretary? If the quorum is there, do you want us to start? Well, 4 o'clock. It's past 4. And the quorum is there. Right. The 2 candidates, are you very happy with the way the voting is going? The 2 candidates? Or shall we, because I'm not part of this arrangement. If you're not happy, we will redo it.
Thank you for the question. Extremely happy. Also that my senior together here. confirmed that the process was open, and the balloting, the way it has been explained to us, is extremely easy and spot on. So
There are no other boxes.
I have not seen another box, and I have the confidence that there's no another box anyway.
And it didn't contain anything before those were put in.
I think Steve can confirm that.
Yeah, Steve, are you happy as well? Steve, are you also happy as well? The important thing, and the reason why we have actually said we must do it here, is because we just want to rule out all these sort of things. Right. Okay. Now,
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
I think Professor Kambi is right. Eh?
Yeah.
So what one can do then, you may have to put it to the vote for all of us. If we agree it is no secret, it is open, and we agree, we'll go ahead. But that's the
yes.
point is clear, because you can tell who, you can track down who voted for who.
Which is not right.
And now that is no secret.
Paul, all I'm asking is
ballots coming from anywhere. We just have, that's the unique identifier of the ballot. And the ballot are not necessarily identified to a particular member as a voter.
Thank you.
Now, I was going to suggest, they are actually serialized. They can be traced to each and every one of us. I see the idea was to make sure that everyone gets one vote, and there are no other mysterious votes coming in.
After speaking to Steve, my very good friend and my teacher, yes, we shall destroy, even the Pope, they ban those things. So I don't think it's a worry, they'll be destroyed here. Thank you very much, and thank you, Steve, for the concession.
Somebody else wanted to say something before the company secretary opens the meeting? Oh, it was you, right? Okay, Gilbert. Gilbert, we can go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman. I confirm that 33 members of the Admitting Staff Association have registered as having arrived here physically, and therefore we have a quorum to begin this meeting because the minimum quorum is 25 members.
Good. Thank you. Is that okay? Well, thank you very much. And right. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for turning up. Any apologies? Maybe you could read the apologies. All right, right. There are some apologies here. I don't know why my classes are. And I've got here Professor Lema, Professor Professor E. Ogola, and Professor P. Ndagwada. All right. Is there any more apologies? Anybody has come with apologies? Right, good. Pardon? Pardon? Winger, yes, Dr. Winger. You record that, please. Right. Yes, JD. Doctor? Oh, D. Patel, yeah. Just say my other half, Dr. D. Patel. Dr. D. Patel. Any more? Right. Now, the next thing is to confirmation of the minutes. I don't know if you have all read the minutes because I had 2 sets of minutes which are very similar. Pardon? Confirmation of minutes. Oh, notice of the meeting. Sorry, I'm being advised. I think he's the one who should be sitting close to me. But notice of the meeting, yes, let's read the notice of the meeting. Now, first of all, before you do that, I hope you all know Mr. Gilbert Nyamoya. Do you all know Mr. Gilbert Nyamoya? Mr. Gilbert Nyamoya, do you know all these people? He's our company secretary. And I think we should, those of you who don't know him, that is him. Right. Okay, please read the...
Thank you, Chairman. This is the notice convening this meeting. Notice is hereby given that the Admitting Staff Association shall hold an annual general meeting on Thursday, 25th May 2023 at 4 p.m. in accordance with Article 13(1) of the Admitting Staff Association regulations to conduct the following business agenda. Ordinary business, 1, to table apologies and note the presence of quorum. which we have just done. 2, to receive, consider, and if thought fit, to adopt the Chief Executive Officer's report. 5, to receive, consider, and if thought fit, adopt the Medical Advisory Committee / Admitting Staff Association Chairman's report. 6, to elect the chairperson of the MAC / ASA in accordance with Article 9(1) of the Admitting Staff Association regulations. The notice was issued by the Chief Executive Officer of Nairobi Hospital, who is the Secretary of ASA. The notice was issued on 26th April 2023. Thank you, Chairman.
That one, by the way, but I tell you, it is the doctors who will decide. But we sometimes invite him to clarify matters for us. He can come by invitation, but he's strictly not a member. Neither is the medical director. Now, is it your suggestion that they should step out, or? Yeah. No, if the members feel that he's also a stranger, then they do so. The only person here who actually is legally here from the management is the CEO. But sometimes we invite experts to assist us. All right, now I think we should be upstanding for a minute, please, in honor of Mr. Bodo for 1 minute. Thank you. Hope you have all read the minutes of May 2022, which Josephine has very kindly given me a copy of because I left mine in the office. Are there any? Have you read the minutes, and can we confirm those minutes? Or you're just reading them now, or you don't have them. If you don't have them, whoever's read them, put your hand up and say that you can, that they are the true record. Yes, Paul. Seconder, Paul Wangai. Paul Wangai. Is that okay? Is that okay, Paul Wangai? And seconder. My goodness, nobody wants to support Paul. They have even forgotten who was present. I'll tell you who was present. Do you want me to read out the list of all those who was present? No, I don't think I should, but there were many. Pardon? Oh, let's see, Paul, if you're there. Paul, were you there? Paul Musila. Well, yes, you actually, you have said something very important. It must be somebody who was present at that time. I don't know why it was so, because Paul, I don't see your name. You are there virtually, do you? But how come you're not recorded? Are we recording people who are there virtually as well? I see James Mogere was there. Did you read your notes? And I saw James somewhere. And if they're wrong, you'll probably be handcuffed. Now, who is going to second? Paul, unfortunately, you're not appearing here, but you can actually tell them to correct the minutes. You are here. Yes, Paul actually attends all the meetings. Let's leave it to Paul Wangai, but please correct that, these were not accurate because you only gave us 29 people, but some people are not here. You are here, you are there virtually. Yeah, maybe that's the reason. And the seconder is James Mogiri. Thank you very much. Right, now it's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to ask the CEO to give us his talk. Mr. James Nyamongo, I don't know, I hope you all know Mr. James Nyamongo. He's been a CEO for some time. I know some of you may not have met him, but that's him. Mr. Nyamongo, welcome.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, members. I will probably embark to give highlight on the institution performance, where we are coming from and where we are. And I will specifically touch on various areas on performance summary, on the improvement of the credit control. Then I'll also touch on the equipment, that is the performance enhancement measures. And then I'll also touch on governance issues, which we have. This is my second meeting I'm attending for members of the meeting, staff's meeting. As you could see from my projection, I've done a summary and I'll be posting this report in your emails so that you look at it, then you could ask any questions which probably would be pertinent or would like any explanations. For the period, that's the first quarter of this year coming from last year, we have managed to turn around the diversity in the previous year. In last year, we registered a diversity of about 143 million. But we have registered in the first quarter, that's 30 million in the first quarter of 2023. But this has been dampened by a challenging economic environment. As you know, we started the year very well, but there is quite a number of issues which have been coming. We have been having the dollar going up against the Kenya shilling. This has affected us, taking into account that we purchase most of the equipment and most of the services in using foreign exchange. Our occupancy has continued to grow this year, averaging 66 compared to 64 last year. The patient fees have also grown out by 12% compared to last year. Revenue has therefore grown by 9%. Following the approval from the UN and your recommendations, the plan for repurposing East Wing is being finalized with a proposal to be tabled at the Board of Management. We have also put in place different initiatives to turn around the performance on the institution, including cost containment and revenue generation plan. We are deploying our team to look at the costing systems which we have been putting in place to ensure that every item used is captured in our costing system, and also reviewing our pricing systems completely. We'll be having a team looking at this in the coming week. On credit control, this has been a thorn in the press, but we have put as management some credit control strategy which has successfully enabled us to at least correct most of the data from our big data like the NHIF and also the insurance companies and also cash payers. Collection has exceeded revenue in 2023 April at 4.1 billion versus 3.6 billion in revenue last year. At the end of April, the outstanding debt stood at Kenya shilling 2.2 billion, down from 2.5 last year. When I joined here, we had a debt portfolio of about 3.8. which was not really reconciled, but we have managed to reconcile those debts and bring down to that particular area. The NHIF was owing this institution 1.1 billion. This we have brought down up to 0.5 billion. And the cash debtors is about 0.5 billion, that's 450. The majority of these belong to the emergency admissions, which comes in. We are in engagement with NHIF on clearing these balances despite treasury concerns, while we are developing a new strategy to deal with cash payers in a manner that is empathic to our patients. We will continue engaging NHIF in different areas, taking into account also they are having cash constraints coming out from the government. Performance enhancement area measures we have put so that we can improve our finances. One, focus on patient centricity as an institution has been enhanced. We have progressed well on the main entrance work, which we estimate will be completed by June next month. That's our expect that most of the work which is being done there is complete. The only item remaining now is actually the theater side. We also are working to increase our en-suite room allocation to respond to our patient preference. Since the coming in of COVID, most of patients are preferring to go to private wings, which we are not able to provide. They don't want open spaces, but we are focusing on that. Various investment in medical equipment has been achieved by committing over 700 million in medical equipment, investment which has resulted to major upgrades such as cardiac pipeline C-arm. I think these members, the clinicians, you have seen this. Also, we have upgraded our MRI smart bat upgrade, ophthalmology microscope, gastroscopy, and duodenoscopy. We have also purchased the mammogram, and on track, which we have already pressed an order, is a 128 C scan, which is on track. A fluoroscopy machine, also on track. Then in neuromicroscopic, also it is on track. These are some of the equipments which have come on board, resulting from the audit we carried out last year. And on this one, I request maybe members of the admitting staff, since we are having this, we will be publishing this particular equipment to the public and yourself, so you can be able now to utilize this equipment maximally so that we can sweat our investment out of that. On governance, transparent and evidence are crucial to our success. We have plotted into forth various equipment, governance instruments. One, a new human resource policy has been drafted and is undergoing approval. We have already finished this one. We have already approved at the board level. It was approved 3 months ago. And we will be using this one. This instrument has been very, very crucial because the institution has been facing a lot of litigations, especially from the human resource. We have been facing a lot of challenge in the labor courts because we have not been following procedure, especially on boarding and how we are treating our staff and when their staff are going out. This is something we have given embassy, and I'm happy to report that after 1 year deliberations, we have been able to come up with this particular equipment. This new manual consolidates the previously singular policies, a review of training, performance management, and recruitment process has been done to enable more efficiency in running the human resource practice in the organization. Alternatively, the supply chain and procurement policy has been reviewed, as well as to enable more efficient procurement practices that is responding to the needs of the hospital. Our investment is better on hospital management system is at an advanced stage and scheduled for implementation this year. Payment to doctors has been enhanced to promote efficiency. Although we have not achieved 100%, this is also a challenging exercise which has been there, but we have managed, at least now we are making payment to doctors twice a month. Reconciliation of doctors' account is ongoing, touching on historical payments. We seek your support during this particular exercise. Going forward, we need your support in most of these areas, especially as we develop our governance instrument. One of the key areas, and my experience in these institutions, what has been happening previously, is we were operating on disintegrated governance instrument, which were not cohesive. And this one, we have managed at least to consolidate. And also, we have gone further to ensure that we have taken care of our staff by improving our recruitment and orientation. That's by improving their benefits, especially the staff which we are working on with, and more so on the nursing fraternity, because this institution more is inclined towards the nursing care. We have not had quite a number of now nursing going out, like the last 2 years. This, we took a deliberate move to ensure that we have doubled their remunerations. We are now bringing in issues like mortgage. We are bringing issues like car loan. We are also reviving the SACCO, the savings and credit, which has also been managed. We have managed now to bring in corporate bank to assist us restructure it properly to ensure that it is working for the benefit of the members of staff and others. We have taken this deliberate move because we want to operate as an institution at an international standard level. These are some of the teething problems which actually has taken us a lot of time to ensure that these governance instruments are put in place. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the ASA members for supporting us all through. Currently, we are also trying to see how we can improve various systems. One, we are trying to see how we can bring in the PET scan, also improve the water system, and also solar, and also improve our outpatient clinics. Last year, we have engaged our development partners, and one of them is the United States Development Trading and Development Agency, who have given us a grant of $1.047 million to do those feasibility study. Because when I came in, I understood that one of the areas which we needed to focus is on equipment. So we will be doing this feasibility study in the coming 6 months, and out of that, we'll now see what areas we are going to give priority so that we can be able to equip these institutions to the standards which are required. Mr. Chairman, with that few remarks, I want to take this opportunity to thank members for giving me the support for the last 2 years to rejuvenate most of the activities of these institutions. We have done what was our disposal, and I take this opportunity to thank you, and I say thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. I'm going to open.
We will be pursuing this one. One, I suggested first, if members could agree to have a benevolent fund open for them, whereby they could be contributing monthly kit. Number two, if they would be able to take what we call an insurance policy, which would be catering for their benefits. I've put this suggestion for you to look at it, and I'm ready to spearhead this particular function. We have discussed in various forums, but we have not agreed. But today I think the turnout is big, and I will be able to listen to their views, because this is very, very critical. It is very critical because if you agree today that you are going to leave maybe 500 every month, this is a lot of money. And I can tell you, 500 shillings a month, even 1,000, that's a lot of money. You open an account, and then you deposit this money. At the time of need, you'll find out this one. You will not be going around to put WhatsApp or raising money from other places. We can even take this one, we take out an insurance. We could bring in financial experts to talk to you. For example, right now, you can see this is not an important thing. But at the end of the day, you'll find this is a very useful and a novel ideas which can be fronted. It has worked, and it will work. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions? Yes, Josephat, Dr. Josephat Mulimba.
Mine is just a follow-up on, you said that most of the things have been completed except for the theater, which you are still working on. But for some of us who just pass on that side of the entrance, we have seen this block with a big child drawn on it, and it has just been quiet, with that child not moving in the spanners that he's carrying. What is going on?
Thank you, member. One of the challenges I faced at these institutions, when I came in, there were various projects which were stopped. And these projects, the people, contractors, went to arbitration, which we had contractors, we had people who were doing civil work. Some of them went to court. But what we did is that we talked with them after technical audit report was done. Then we went to arbitrations. Some of the buildings, which we are now, like the theater, we have finished. The building you are seeing, which was supposed to be arbitrage buildings, it is still under arbitration. We have not sorted it out, but we are hoping. We received an okay about 2 weeks ago. We started discussing with the contractor and the consultant. We had a consultant actually, we don't know how, probably was given more powers to ensure that he was in control of everything. But we have discussed with him and we have agreed. We are now sorting those problems one by one. And that's why you have seen some of the work which is completed, like the western wing, the main entrance, but that one, in the next few months, we are going to sort out, and we are having a plan what we can do at that particular area. Thank you.
I can say that the CEO inherited a master plan which was completely desecrated. We don't have a master plan. That is a very serious matter, but I think he's trying to sort things out. Simon, yes, please.
Yeah. First of all, is to thank you. Since you came, I think we have seen some improvement. So that's number one. And thank you very much. About the migration of nurses to wherever they are going, I heard that you have indicated that that now is not a problem. What I would have liked to know is, last year, so many migrated, 10%, this year is 5%. That's the kind of statistics one would have liked to hear from you. My third point is I have been very concerned about this hospital with regarding to the way you treat resident doctors who occupy rented offices here. Many hospitals where the doctors who occupy who actually rent their premises, those patients, all of them actually come to your hospital. They are the people who back this hospital 100%. And yet, you are charging these doctors the market rate of these offices. And that's a concern. How do you motivate these doctors to remain? And what is it that you cannot reduce the rent for doctors working here and staying in this hospital?
I want to, what is that? Migration of nurses. Okay, thank you. Right now, the lowest nurse who was just finishing school is being paid 79,000. Then we did that particular upgrade up to the highest nurse now maybe is getting about $1 million or so, taking into grades and the work of experience. We did that adjustment. We have already implemented the first phase, second phase. We are now in the third phase, taking into account how our finances improves. Right now, in fact, from January, I've only received about five nurses who have left these institutions. And what I've done is that I've encouraged mostly last month, we took about 40 nurses from the training school, which because of the activities we have increased. So I cannot really give you the percentage, but I can give you the numbers which I've seen. This is what has been happening. Coming to the pricing of the obsolete, this is not my decision. When I came in, there was some moratorium which was given because of the COVID, and the rent was reduced by 50%. I don't think that we have increased that rent from that level. And I'm here with my chair, your chair, outgoing chair, who is here. He has been pleading with me not to increase that rent, and I still maintain that. Let us see, since you are bringing in patients, let us see, we allow that 50% to subside. Once you improve on that one, and also we improve on the situation, we are able to review with the ASA members as we move forward. It's not that we are very rich on that one, we are able to reduce that one as things improve. And even yourself, you can see the environment we are working on is very harsh. So by 50% at least, I think they also give in a very big concession on that. The other question, I don't know, number 3, which was...
No, but on that one, I think the finance director went back to the original. Isn't that what happened? Yeah, because we were very happy.
I'll check on that. I promise members, let me check that one. I was not updated on that one, but I'll check on that. Eh?
This is what we have been saying, and I think the CEO was not aware. And I think maybe the CEO should tell us right now that he's going to issue an order that we get back. But anyway, he's the boss. Right. Okay, but I think the CEO has answered your question. Yes. Right. There's one more, is it?
No. What is another one?
No, I think you finished. Right.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you.
And that's minuted by the company secretary has been minuted.
But Chairman, I'll also add, since we are doing this one now, and we are trying to improve the facility, I'll also urge members of the ASA members, please refer your patient now to our facility. We are trying to do our best, especially on the staffing of the key staff members. We are able, and anybody is able, especially on the key areas like radiology, we are trying to improve. Lab, we have done well. Pharmacy, we have done well. The areas which we have no focus is on radiology, which we are now lightly focusing on. And I request you, please refer your members of maybe the patients to our facilities, since now our facilities are updated. What I've said here, members can witness that these equipments are operational. Those ones which you have been asked, some of them have been asked here during my monthly meetings with the ASA members, and I've done what you have requested. Thank you.
Now I'll take 3 last questions, starting with, do I know the name? Just introduce yourself. I'm sorry. You have to give me a drink so that I know your name.
My name is Kirekio Manwa. I'm an obstetrician and gynecologist.
Oh, good.
I want to thank the CEO and Mark for inviting us for this meeting. Since the CEO has told us about the beautiful equipment and basically top of the range that is available, what are we doing so that other people know about it in terms of marketing, in terms of making people know that actually Nairobi Hospital is actually top of the range, and this is where you can come for top of the range care? Thank you.
Next one. And then there will just be one more, and then we have ready to move on.
Thank you, as Chairman of SA and the CEO. Very nice progress. We are very happy. We started talking about the welfare of the doctors, and many years ago, more like maybe 20 years, I think, remember Mr. Stanton and what, the doctors used to be treated completely free in the hospital. We even waived the X-ray and laboratory. Maybe now you cannot do that. I know as a senior member, more than 30 years, we get a discount of 25%, but some of us have the private insurance, but if it fails, we are also thankful to the hospital. Sometimes you waive or give discount, but if this waiving or discount can be improved, because for the young people who cannot afford, the percentage is very small, like 5% or 10%. So if it can be extended more, will be appreciated. Thank you very much.
Do you want to take another question when we finish? All right, one more question from Dr. Moledina, unless there's another hand before him. I think it was, who was it? Oh, it was Paul. It was Paul Wangai. Your hand was up. Yeah, but you kept it down now. Okay, Paul first, and probably you are, I don't know whether you will let you, but Paul, you are the one on floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I just want to pursue what the CEO is talking about, information now. A suggestion, communication from the CEO to ASA members is very poor. I mean, Ngayo and I are just musing. You know, you're giving nurses $1 million shillings a month. Maybe Ngayo and I should become nurses now. The point is, we need information. I think if you can engage us more in terms of, you may have not to give the facts, but some of the areas, because really we're the best advertisers as well for you. And we don't have a lot of information. Maybe a monthly or weekly or whatever, or quarterly bulletin CEO to the doctors will go a long, long way in fostering that good rapport.
Thank you, Chairman. You are outgoing. You have really done it very well during your term, and with the people, that is the medical director and the CEO. I must congratulate that the hospital has taken strides. One thing very important about benevolent fund, I'm very sure all of us will agree, but the funds are not kept properly and the money is dished somewhere else and is misused in the previous. I hope you remain with us for a very long time because we have seen achievement. The other thing which is not connected to your speech, but I think I will not get another time to speak, whomever we choose as a chairman, once we put them on the chair, they don't want to know us. So I hope they know us. You know, but this chairman was different. This chairman was different. Okay. Yes. But it is very important to correlate with, when we walk even on the corridors, they don't want to know us. And when we salute them or say hi, they just pass us. So I think both these candidates should make aware that we are the one putting them on the chair and we can also do the... Yeah. Thank you very much.
Rather than for you, but never mind.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. And I would like to go to Mr. Klegi's question, that is advertising. First, I wanted to finish almost 50% of what I wanted to do. In the next 1 week, you will be seeing a lot of, I'm working with my director of strategy and marketing, and you will be seeing a lot of information being rolled out, and also communication, as Dr. Wangai said. Dr. Wangai, when I came into a deep sea. I've been swimming now, at least my head is coming out, and I can be able now to talk with you. What we have been doing, we have been trying to clean, especially when you talk about arbitration cases. They have taken a lot of our time, a lot of our energy, historical matters. But right now, I can be able to speak out authoritatively that this is what we are doing, and beginning of this year, I started having what we call breakfast meetings. So in March, I had a meeting in January, which I listened for more quarters. And most of the issues which were raised, they are on course. In February, I replied to the doctors what I've done and what we want to do. Today, I've given you the results, what we are doing, and I'm going to communicate with that one. About the welfare, as I said earlier, where I've come from, I started a welfare of, in fact, about 2,000 staff members. We started with about 100. They were contributing 200 shillings every month. This thing was extended to 1,000. Now it covered the whole corporation. Today, if somebody falls sick, if anybody finds anything within the nuclear family, you are given a check straight of 300 to 400, depending on your case. With no sweat. Somebody is identified, is a member, is a contributor, is assisted straight away. And this is what I wanted to start here. And I'm urging you that if we can start this, it would take a long way. We cannot be raising money for medical bills. We cannot raise money for funerals. We can raise money for other things within your immediate. This is something which is doable. And I really urge members of ASA, if you can just give on 500 shillings or 1,000 shillings, whichever you pass a resolution today, it will go a long way supporting you in many ways. Thank you. The other one is communication. I've already agreed. I'll be doing it quarterly, monthly, and quarterly. Then Meritina, you have raised the same issues. And all what I urge you is that probably we are improving dialogue between the doctors and the staff and also the board. And also, the members of MAC, they are supposed to be medical advisory members. What they discuss at MAC, it is a part of the resolution which is passed to the main board for implementations. Mine is to get that resolution, and mine is to implement. That's all.
I think there's a question about if you're advertising, you say that's a very good facility. I think there's someone who
Greg asked it. I've already said that. Yes, we will be handling, we are working on it with the director of strategy.
So, sorry.
Yeah, about discount. This one, once they bring out from the market advisory committee to discuss a proposal which is prepared, it will be discussed. That is not the CEO only is working as a technocrat, but the resolution must come from MAC board members who will make a decision, then we escalate it to the board. Whichever suggestion they make and approve, those one I will implement.
Is it very important because yes, we have not had many ladies, so please make it brief. Pardon?
Thank you very much. It's not that we've not had many ladies, we've not had any. Thank you for that chance and for being very sensitive. My name is Dr. Edna Gisore, and I've not admitted for long. It's been only 3 years, and I wanted to thank the management for the work that you've done. Personally, I can say that I've seen a few changes here and there, and I think it's a step in the right direction. My question may be known to most people and maybe not to me, is about the classification of SA members. The reason I'm asking this is because some of my friends have been turned away. In fact, I've called one or two to come back. They're not able to vote, that they are courtesy members. So they've not been allowed to vote, and they're doctors who've paid up. So I don't know how we are classified, who can vote, who can't vote, and how does one become a courtesy member?
We've had you. Simon, I think you're the one who should answer that question. No, I'd like Simon to answer it, please. The microphone, please.
The question is about categorization.
Yeah.
The categorization is based on several factors, and I think those have been shared online. Am I right? So that based on one, the admission, in other words, how much you are using the hospital, how much you are using the various laboratories in the hospital, yes, and your participation in CME and committees in the hospital. So when you come in as admitting staff the first time, you are given the courtesy status. Then we monitor your progress on how well you are using the hospital.
Sorry.
This is how it is. Now, criteria must also be very clear. If you tell me Thank you, Chairman. I think what I'm trying to say is the member, doctor, she's raising a very pertinent issue because maybe most of the young doctors do not know how this goes about. And the answers given are okay, but maybe they are asking when I move from A to C or A to B, how is that criteria done? Is it done every month? Is it done every year? How many patients do I have to admit? How do you categorize if I use the laboratory?
Maybe you could take it up. Are we being rigorous? Is there somebody, an individual who actually specific individual, you know, who was? Well, yeah, no, but look, if there is, he should really have complained before, because it means I didn't read the rules. If I'm courtesy, and I'm supposed to be something else, I should do this in time. I cannot come to visit at this time and start complaining this time. So tell them that please let them go and actually change their status before they come here. Now, are you listening to me, or are you communicating with somebody else? I'm trying to tell you why. If they're not associate or visiting, I'm sorry they can't vote. It's because it's part of our rules. But if you want to change those rules, they can be changed. All right, Simon, do you want to have the last word?
Mr. Chairman, all the doctors who are coming here for the very first time, after interview, we receive them here. Breakfast reception. And they are given a booklet with all these rules. All these rules. But we don't take them seriously. We go with them and put them away. We don't lead. Because every doctor is given that booklet. And it has all that information.
Good.
Secondly, we are now recategorizing yearly.
Right.
Yearly. And this has been communicated. Am I right, Director?
Right.
So I don't think there is an excuse for not knowing.
What's the name of the young lady? Are you satisfied? If the rules say, no, don't worry about the people out there. You are just raising a principle. Right, good. But you have heard. Good. Okay, right. I think now we move on to, I try not to make my talk too long, because I can see people really are wanting to know what is in that box. But maybe, it's just as well, because some people are coming in late. I hope nobody's tampering with that box. Eddie, are you tampering with that box? Are you tampering with the box? Right. Okay. Right. I'll be very brief. And because I know that people are not, please put on the air conditioner, because we're getting a bit hot, or it's just me. First of all, greetings, and it's nice to see such a, Mr. CEO, I think you should be getting elections every time we have a meeting, because look at this attendance. Fantastic, isn't it? It's very nice to see so many people here, and I do hope future meetings will be like this. And I would like, first of all, to thank the people who I've been working with, especially MSC members. And I think some of them are here. Not all of them are here. I will not introduce all of them. I would also like to pay special thanks to ASA members who are not MSC members, but who have helped us a lot in their own ways. And I'll mention some of them. Maybe I might not finish a whole list, but I'm thinking of people like Simon Gudu. As you can see, he's been heading the recategorization and credentialing. Dr. Bakilo Nyambo, who is now one of our, he has helped us a lot with insurance, ICT, and laparoscopy. Philip Kisioka, I think I saw him somewhere. We thank you, Philip, for helping us with laboratory. John Adwok has helped us with JCIA and A&E. We're very grateful. Oluoch Olunya David Livingston helped us with radiology. Ezra Opere with theater users, Professor Jaldesa, Anderson Clinic. We are grateful, and I think we must actually help MSC. They cannot do everything by themselves. I would like also to extend my thanks to management, and as you can see, we have got a very proactive CEO. This is the first CEO to tell us that he is actually serious about our welfare and especially about that welfare fund. I hope you'll take him seriously. And I see Oseo Waweru here because I think you are supposed to be chairing that committee. He has thrown a challenge to you. You should stand out there and start collecting 1,000 shillings for everybody going out. And for every 1,000 shillings, maybe the CEO will give us how much? No. 3,000 or 2,000, yes. Just depend. But it also means, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that we must make up, because if we make a loss, it's very, very difficult to go to the board and defend it. But if we make a profit like we used to, 1 billion shillings per year, and I saw Isaac coming in here. Isaac, I don't know where you are, but we wanted to give, yeah, there's Isaac up there. Isaac will take this money, and you know, do you know what Isaac is? Many of you don't know what he is. He's sitting behind here, but he can actually invest this money for us. So let's be serious. Let's be serious. That the CEO will give us a certain percentage, and we'll put in a certain percentage, and we will have a fund growing. Because I think this raising funds every time there is a mishap is just not very good. Now, I also like to thank the CEO for the projects. I think you can see the hospital is starting to improve. The corridors are starting to shine. The theaters, very soon, those of you who go to theater will find that the theaters are going to be very different. There's going to be a holding room so that when patients don't have to come all the way from the ward straight to the theaters, that there will be a holding room. And those anesthetists who will come late and all that will find their patients there rather than in the wards. So I think we should congratulate the CEO for all the things he has done. Now, while I'm at the theaters and equipment, we have now decided, under the chairmanship of Bakle Onyambu, that if there is expensive equipment in the hospital, please let's get trained before we do it. Apparently there have been a lot of breakages because some people have used equipment before they were trained. Now, the very sad, it's very, very sad that over the last 3 years when we have been chairman, we have lost so many members of admitting staff. I don't know whether you remember all of them. Let me read some of those that I've put down here. Anthony Were, if you remember, nephrologist. Jimmy Munene, cardiothoracic and vascular surgeon. James Muturi Ndungu, pediatric surgeon. Michael Mugo, physician cardiologist. Paul Kioi, Professor Paul Kioi, neurologist. Professor George Magoha, surgeon neurologist. Professor J.G. Karanja, OBS and Gynae. Dr. S.K. Karanja, OBS and Gynae. Mr. S.R. Patel, OBS and Gynae. Dr. Yusuf Kodowala Dawood, surgeon. Dr. Rebecca Karanja, physician. Vladimir Shukin, surgeon. Anselmi Opio, oncologist. And today I'm told we have lost Mr. Job Bodo. Now, I think this is really not a very, very good thing to happen. And I don't know whether we have a problem amongst us, whether we're not a healthy cohort. But I think that we should remember that when we lose these people, we lose a lot of skills, and we should remember them. We also have lost people through resignations and all that, but I'll not go in that direction because the CEO has already touched on that. Now, to come into the matters academic and clinical, this is our core business. It's really academic work and clinical work. I would like to commend, I think I saw Professor Abinya. Yes, Professor Abinya was somewhere. Yeah, Professor Abinya organizes a meeting on Thursdays, every Thursday, which is gone international. And this is through his own individual effort. And on Wednesdays, I think we have got Ruben. Is Ruben Okioma, is he here? Ruben Okioma organizes that. I think we should have more of such meetings because they bring us together and they make us solve problems. And I would like to see the Monday meetings revived and the Tuesday meetings revived. And I hope the medical director will take care of that. And the other thing we need to do is to mentor our youngsters. I see the young lady who was actually talking quite a bit about young doctors. Is she listening to me? I can see she's consulting somebody else, but we need to mentor the youngsters. And I don't know whether we're doing enough of that. Now, thirdly, I want to talk about governance. Governance is very, very important, and it is still not good enough in this hospital. And I think the CEO has touched on that, and I better not say that. But what I would like to say, while you're away, I talked about the meetings. We have Thursday meetings are very good. Wednesday meetings are very good. We should revive the Monday meetings and Tuesday meetings because this is important for the hospital. Right. Now, insurance. Insurance is very important, and we have been working on this. And I think you will be told about this as time goes by because the insurance sometimes are not treating us very well. But I'll leave that for another day. And the CEO has already done my last item, which is about doctors' welfare. He has thrown a challenge back to us that if we start collecting money, he will actually give us something so that we have a kitty. And are there any questions to the chair? Don't ask me difficult questions, and I'll not allow difficult questions from a young lady because they seem to be really quite, they seem to be quite bright. Now, you, yes, Dr. Stafford. I'm only joking. Don't look at me like that. I'm just joking. Please ask your question when it comes. Right.
We used to have an annual meeting. Of course, because COVID stopped, we used to honor our SA members who finished 30-year meeting, right? We also used to have a CME lecture every Tuesday for all of us.
Right.
It used to give us some CME credits. Thank you.
Well, I've just told the medical director was away when I read that particular thing. Medical director would like those Tuesdays revived, and we like the Mondays as well. But we are very grateful to Nicholas. Nicholas, do people know you? You see, Nicholas' meetings, we get people waking up very early in Europe to attend these meetings. Okay, Italy, what's his name? The professors and all that. I don't know whether they want to, but I think you should preach that message so that other people do the same. We also know that young Koigi is working very hard with the journal, and we should support him. Is that okay? Right. Are you happy with our academic and clinical performance, or are you unhappy? There's room for improvement. Right. In fact, I was talking to your deputy about this JCIA, that we shouldn't have to wait for other people to come and tell us things we can do ourselves. Is that all right? Right, that's okay. Right, if there are no more questions, yes, Dr.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I want to see you. Excellent progress. We are very happy. This is Dr. Mohendo Njogo. Thank you very much, Chair Asa. About the CMEs, excellent idea. But the capacity to take in more people is limited. Yesterday, I was a bit late for the ICU meeting, and it says capacity reached. So you'll only be allowed in if someone drops out. So it's good to encourage us to join, but then the capacity must be enabled, because if there were the 450 consultants.
Do they even limit them online as
They
well?
limit online.
Online, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, practically, the ICU is not a good venue for such a meeting.
Right.
We just have to think about another different venue. We can hardly hear them talking, those in the ICU. We hear better those who are online. So there is a gap there. It's good we're having the ICU meetings regularly, but we need to have forum or monthly meetings, for example, on updates. We can sit down and decide these are key topics. We can have updates of these. And they can be done either as a breakfast meeting or as an evening meeting. When we know this is a major meeting, we're going to review this subject. And people are given enough time to prepare so that the quality of presentations are good. As you know, I attend Professor Binya's meeting, and I do so faithfully because it's one of the most interesting and enjoyable and learning sessions. We learn a lot for those of you who have missed the oncology Thursday meetings. When they're cancelled or there's no case, I feel very bad because I always put aside time for that. But now beyond these ones, we need updates, monthly updates. They can be sponsored by drug companies who would be very happy to come and sponsor them. And we can have them as a breakfast meeting or as a dinner meeting where we can now review in depth certain subjects. And new procedures, how better to use the equipment that we have there. There's so much going on in the field of medicine, And the monthly updates would be very, very useful.
Medical Director?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Mwenji, regarding that. So I recall as a medical student, we used to come every, I believe it was Tuesday, for the teachings here, very informative. And Dr. Kambuni will attest that actually one of the talks given was actually my exam. And I've told you that before, and then I passed, so thank you for that. So, Mr. Chair, through Chair, we will reconvene the CMEs, the Tuesday CMEs. I believe they're called grand rounds, where we discuss not necessarily all departments are given prospective topics to discuss. That will be arranged. Regarding the audiovisual issues, Jackson, our head of audiovisual, is here. I'll take it up with him after this. And regarding increment of online capacity, I believe there's a way we can do it. I'm not privy to software staff, but I'm sure there's a way we can increase the capacity, even if it means paying a little bit more to either Zoom or all the other teams, or whichever. I'm sure we can work around it. That will be done, rest assured.
Right. And in
Finally,
fact,
Mr. Chairman,
yeah.
I am not sure how many people favor that lunchtime meeting. When we used to come physically, you could almost predict whom you'd find in the lunchtime meeting. And there were some good topics. Perhaps if we go online, I have a feeling a morning meeting is better, or an evening meeting. This lunchtime meeting, not many were able to physically attend. Unless we confirm that we'll be able to be coming at that time, you could predict where is Dr. Sayo, where is Silverstein. You know who would come for that lunchtime meeting. And yet, very important topics were covered.
Right.
Morning meetings are easier. We come, do the meetings, and go away, or wherever we are, join in online, finish the meeting, and move on to what we want to do.
That's duly noted.
You have had it, you're right. Okay, and in fact, I wanted to say also that there was a very robust debate this week on WhatsApp about JCIA and all that. We should do things right ourselves here. We don't have to wait for people to come and tell us some of these very ordinary things. But I think we can start our own JCIA even before they come and audit us. So now, I think that people are tired now of hearing speeches, and I hope that you have updated. There's a hand there. Is it for a question or a comment? Please tell us your name first, and then just wait for the microphone. And then after that, I'll hand the microphone to the CEO, who is the returning officer, and he will appoint people here who you trust. And then you can count the votes for us while we, right. Yeah, sorry, somebody was, oh, you have the microphone, yes. Please tell us, I think I know. Yes. I can't see very well.
Dr. Kanyogo Rufus, dental surgeon.
Right, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And I'm happy that we have talked about welfare of our members. But the biggest welfare we can consider for our members is their own personal care. Globally, doctors suffer because they suffer the curse of medicine whereby they are considered last. You think of others before yourself. Doctors are suffering financially, mentally. You have all just read the list of doctors we have lost over the years. But what we find is doctors are not supported either by the institutions we work for or by the other doctors. And most of the time, they become benevolent members of the same practice that they do. Mr. CEO, you need to help us take care of our doctors. Doctors in terms of, could there be a clinic that doctors who are suffering, apart from going to their own private doctors, that they can be checked like pilots do? How are they doing? You see, cardiologists, I remember the Harvard study whereby the number of cardiologists was decreasing every year. And what they discovered is that they were not going for their own cardiology examinations. So the numbers were decreasing year after year. So when you talk about welfare, the biggest welfare is the health and the welfare of the members themselves. So I think this is something that has not been done. We should not be talking about a benevolent fund. We should be talking about how to make sure people do not even need that fund in the first place because they are able to take care of themselves. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
CEO, why have you lost so many doctors? 14. Why have you lost so many doctors, dead doctors? That's why the doctor, he's actually challenging you that I think you are not looking after your doctors. Do you want to answer or
Yes, I
that's
want
just
to
a
make
comment?
a general comment. Thank you, Dr. Ali, for raising that. And I think it is a very pertinent question he has asked or suggestion he has made. And it is in front of us now which we have to deal with it. And as I said, let us discuss at the MAC committee. We make a resolution on that. As I said, my work is to execute the resolution which has been discussed. Once a substantive motion has been moved up, okay, two, then we can bring the pilot papers here on an open place.
Yeah.
Yes, then we will count the votes as members have voted. Now it is my responsibility now that I'm the returning officer, and I request the two candidates to appoint 2 people each so that we can get the reports from the other side. No, we will finish quickly. Let us go completely finish, and we go.
Already by the appointing, indicating who they think was on their side, we will trust you to pick several ones of us, whomever you trust. We shall count them here, everybody watching, and then you declare the winner.
Okay. Now, can I have one frontier lady from behind? Come over. Can I also have one man from the other side, either in front? Come over. Then can I have one person from frontier? Regina, come over. Then one person from the other side. Can I have frontier? I cannot pick. Come over. Let's move this.
There are too many men here.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. CEO.
Yes. Huh?
We need another lady. We have 3 men and 1 lady.
Oh.
In proportion, in proportion.
And you can close now the draw if there's no more person coming. If there is anybody who has not voted, please bring your vote. We are now crossing. One lady and a man, bring that box here. Count. Another one. Put this complete. Put them that side. Now you can open.
Can open?
Yes. Just open. You got this is that. Yeah, and then we have another paper. We have another paper. Please leave the place, my friends.
Mr. Chairman, may I make a suggestion? One of you can have the mic, and then you read. This one is this one that.
Now we have the mic.
Okay.
I can
Okay. Okay.
No, you go there, we will tell you.
Okay.
You go in
I go in
front.
front.
CEO, you lift one, and you read the name, and then you, if it's Kambunis, one side, if it's, are you a returning man as well? Oh,
Yeah,
you are.
So what do you want me to say?
You just let the name.
Okay.
Here.
Okay. This is Stephen. This is Fred Kambuni. Fred Kambuni. Fred Kambuni, Fred Kambuni, Fred Kambuni, Fred, Stephen, Fred, Fred Kambuni, Steve, Fred, Fred, Fred Kambuni, Steve, Fred Kambuni, Fred Kambuni, Fred, Steve, Fred, Steve, Fred, Kambuni, Steve, Fred, Kambuni, Fred, Steve, Fred Kambuni, Steve, Fred, Steve, Fred, Steve, Fred, Steve, Fred Kambuni, Fred Kambuni. At this spoiled. Fred, Steve, Fred, Steve, Fred, Steve, this Fred. No, this is okay. The one which is marked twice. Steve, Fred, Steve, Fred, Steve, Fred, Steve, Fred. This one is Plank. Fred, 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 Steve, Fred, Fred, Steve, Fred, Fred, Steve, Fred, 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 Steve. It's nothing. We are having two spoiled papers which is marked pot of them. This one is blank, it's not marked. Count.
Let's count loudly.
Let's count loud.
Okay.
First, we are starting with my side, Steve.
1, 2, 3, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Mm. 32.
Spoiled two. Spoiled two.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73 to Dr. Fred Kambuni. Spoiled two.
Total people who had voted is 107. Fred.
The number of people who voted is 107. Mr. Dr. Fred Kambuni got 73. Dr. Stephen Muhudia got 32. Spoiled votes, 2. So we announce
Thank you. So we have to sign.
Yes.
We have to sign. Everybody who is here, you sign first because you are the CEO.
So you have to declare.
No, we are declaring that. You sign first.
Yeah, you sign first.
While they're doing this, some of you may ask why we did it this way. I don't know whether I should explain or not. I don't have to explain. Yeah, there are very good reasons why we did it this way. I know there are some people who said, why don't we vote from anywhere? But there are very good reasons, and if you want, I've got them. 4 reasons.
I've not even known who won because I was outside. No, I've not known. But what there is, the doctors in this hospital have been very divided. Divided. We want someone who can bring peace, harmony within us. Somebody who can unite the medical fraternity in this hospital. No, it's done. It's done. But whoever it is, the message is, please, you have been told. No, so, but the person who has won, no, we're not even saying, asking for direction. So we continue to remain divided. So,
first, thank you, Professor. Please listen a bit. We have not concluded the exercise. Now, I want probably the candidates to come and sign here before I sign the declared that this is it because we have done it, and I would like both candidates to sign here in front so that we know against each. This is yes, yes, yes. Sign here, against your name here. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, members. First, I want to take this opportunity to thank the ASA members, especially turning in large numbers. This is my first meeting. Probably I've seen the turnout has been quite big, 107, which is a big number compared to previously. And I'm hoped the way you have organized yourself, you have handled yourself until we have reached this end, which has displayed a lot of maturity among ourselves. Second, I want to thank the outgoing chairman. This person has really treated me in various MAC meetings, warning me every day we go for a meeting. He has been somebody who has been very, very, very focal in articulating the issues, and I'm hoping that the incoming chair, as other members have already commented, is somebody who's going to unite this membership of ASA to take this institution forward. This is one of the biggest institutions in East and Central Africa, and we have no reason why we should not take it higher than where it is. We have all these friends here. which probably if the elected members utilize the mark in making decisions, especially on clinicians and the development of this institution, we can go further. You have a forum meeting every month, which is actually a very good opportunity because other subcommittees meet once, but it is only mark which meets 3 months before any board meetings here. So that means that most of the issues are going to be articulated within that particular forum. So I'm hoping that the new team, which is coming in, the new chair, is somebody who's forthright, somebody who's going to listen to the members, present the views to the board, and ensure that most of the resolutions are implemented. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Barasa, for the last 2 years I've worked with you, and I'm so grateful that you have guided me. Now, I'll invite, first, thank you. I will now invite the 2 members to come, first Mr. Mudia to come and address members, and then Mr. Kambuni will address, and you will get hand over from Mr. Barasa. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I would like, first of all, to congratulate Dr. Kambuni for being the new chair. And I'm very pleased to let you all know that MAC is a committee. It's a collegiate decision-making organ. And what was good about the 2 of us standing was that the two of us are members of MAC. So we shall still work together. We'll still remain there as the chair division of pediatrics. So I'll be a member of the committee. What we were contesting is who will lead this particular committee. But both of us would have remained members, still remain members of that committee. And hopefully I'll work with the new chair so that MAC will be able to deliver on what you as members would like us to do. It's a very important organ because of the nature of our work. We are vulnerable. We are vulnerable from different sections. We can be exploited by the institution, as many of you know. We can be exploited by the public, as many of you know, that we are sometimes things are demanded of us by the public, which is over and above that which we should do as people who work. We know that we can be exploited by the government. We can be exploited, or we are being exploited by insurance companies. And the main body that can protect us, that can bring the voice of doctors together, and the voice of doctors together is a very strong voice, is the Medical Advisory Committee. So I look forward really to serve you through MAC, led by our new chair, so that together we can be able to serve the doctors' community. But also what I would like to emphasize now as a member of MAC, and which I hope that our leader will continue to uphold, is the fact that to remember that we are a historical institution. We did not start today. We started several decades back. There are many people who have contributed to what we are here today. And sometimes when we join 2 or 3 years back, we may not appreciate that particular fact. A question here was asked why courtesy members are not voting. But it's really to protect this particular institution. If doctors came into this institution and within 3 months they can vote in MAC, which means that they can vote in a decision-making organ. It means that people could mobilize and within a few months come and make decisions which will alter this particular institution. So it's a protective measure that you stay with us for a year or 2 or 3 so that you're a committed member of this community, then you are allowed to vote so that you can make decisions that alter. That is, this was for Madam Dr. Gishore's question, and hopefully I can have time to explain this fact to you. It is just it's a way of protecting the institution from undue influence from outside. But today I would have had a speech if I had won, and I would have said a lot more. I'm forgetting that I'm not the new chair. But Thank you. I think I feel free to discuss this because I'm a member of MAC. I still remain a member of MAC. It's only I'll not be the main leader. Thank you very much. I think let's leave it to our colleague.
I think that was very, very gracious of you. And let's give a clap to Steve. He's a wonderful man. Thank you very much. Should I hand over now?
No, hold on. This is a very difficult speech to make. First, because I have a tie. And I think, you know, an occasion like this one, I had to be slightly different. I want to thank all of you, for being ASA, because these elections just reflect the power of ASA. And where you have placed me is an extremely powerful seat. And those of us who thought it was not powerful, I think Richard, who is my teacher, we should now reclaim our seat of MAC. Because MAC is what takes the ASA to the board. MAC is what takes ASA to the budget, to where the cake is. MAC is not the cake. It is everything else other than us being on the table to be given directions. A colleague once said that it's advisory, that we should get advice. No. If those of us who thought that we are going to be getting advice, I think power requires that we advise the board and we advise the management. That's the truth. Because the management is there to serve us, and the board is there to direct. It's not a management board. And we shall resuscitate these ones. I'm aware that this seat has been... Thank you. I'm aware that this seat has been very uncomfortable to many previous managements. And I think, sir, the discomfort starts this evening. Because we must claim the position of the doctors in this hospital. First and foremost, I want to thank my very good teacher, Professor Kiambi, for staying this late and for voting for me. I know you voted for me, so I can disclose. That's why Professor wanted it destroyed. And for staying this late. And for being one of the oldest ASA members. Thank you. I want to thank my very dear friend who proposed me to sit on this chair, Joe Aloch. For two reasons. He has just jetted in from Washington, or should I say. I think you can follow him on the net where he is. He has just arrived. And I was actually shocked that, sir, you made it to the elections. And I'm also sure you voted for me. That's why you want the ballot destroyed. Esther Wanjohe, the lady gynecologist, obstetrician, because she had the audacity to endorse me to this seat. But most of all, I want to thank us here for turning up in very, very, very large numbers. And this is to show that you are interested in reclaiming your position in this hospital. And this hospital is a leading hospital. It's not in the league of others. This is the Nairobi Hospital, and Bwana CEO, soon you will start seeing what the Nairobi Hospital stands for, because of all these men and women, ladies and gentlemen who own this hospital and who practice in this hospital. My pledge is that
we shall be tooled. In other words, we shall have adequate medications, adequate instruments, adequate theaters, adequate working spaces, so that we can reclaim our position, not just in the country, but in the region. Those of you who doubted that we are a leading institution, every president, even from the region, no, they didn't die. They came here and they were managed in this institution. And those ones who don't know must know that we have a north wing, a south wing, an east wing, and very soon, a very big campus, Prof, which we are working to have possibly one of the largest children's hospital in the region. We shall actualize those ones. Now, we want to be heard, not softly, but very loudly. And that office of Mark will be identified. You'll know where your office is. It used to be there. It has changed locations. But I want it to be a core place which is adequately staffed, where you can feel served. You have heard from the CEO, whom we've had privilege to work with for a long time, who has changed quite a number of things, not all, that whatever we want him to change as the management, it must come from Mark. And trust me, your inbox will be full, sir, because there is a lot that we must do. There are a few things that while I was chair, we have used to celebrate, to accomplish. And soon, through MSC, you'll be seeing us shouting. For example, can't we shout that we have a 3D ophthalmology microscope? We are the only ones in East and Central Africa. I think one in South Africa, but that one didn't work. So we are the only one with it. We have a modern cath lab. I really didn't want to enumerate, but as somebody said, Mark should be giving us the forum to say what we have and what we are and what we can be. What we can be, the limit is, we have so much property. I think his own KNH has got slightly more acreage than the Nairobi Hospital. His own KNH, which has possibly a slightly longer history than the Nairobi Hospital. So I don't see us playing the league with any of our institutions around. There are many things that we're going to change to bring the brand of the Nairobi Hospital, TNH, back into the realms. Gone are the days when the competitors are going to put their huge posters outside our gate. No, we shall be there. We shall be the Nairobi Hospital. And my pledge is that hold me accountable. Thank you very much. I didn't want to read the speech because it's getting late. But all the young people, all the old people, everybody who has come here to reclaim the hospital, please, you placed me there not to lead you, but to serve you. And I'll be a very, very strong servant. Where there is trouble, you will hear it even before it comes out. And that is the brand that I want us to reclaim. Steve, we shall work together. We shall work together. We have known each other for very many years. We have run a race, and you actually made me win. If you were not in the race, possibly I wouldn't have won. So I owe my victory to you being on the ballot with me. I cannot take that for granted. I think as we go for tea, Mr. Baraza, thank you for making this occasion. You taught us anatomy, you taught us surgery. Now, we are not peers, but we are in the marketplace together. And we shall make this place the place that we have always desired to be. So next time, a year from now, put your pens down and let's see what the score has been. Thank you. Mongera, I know KU is also coming up, but You being a chair there and I being a chair here, let's see who has got a bigger scoreboard. And that is what I want us to promise each other. Thank you very much, colleagues. And may God bless you as we build this institution. Thank you.
Well done, Fred. And I'm sure you will keep your... And thank you very much, CEO.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Now, we need to destroy these papers as we agreed so that we cannot take the... But there's a shredder. Where?
Okay, thanks. I think maybe who declares? I think for the last time as chair, I'll declare the meeting over, and I think breakfast is served. Okay.